It's been a pretty good week for Plymouth. 4 points from 2 games, beating Portsmouth and coming away with an away point, which I haven't done for a while. On this week's episode, we're asking how good is Pleggy after some rave reviews from the Derby game. We've got Chris and Carl to discuss that with us. We're also talking about refereeing standards. Are they dropping in the Championship? And is it time for our VAR question to come back? And with the American election last week, we're asking who is the best North American or South American import that's ever been at Plymouth. This is where Pilgrims walk. And Jaden's back with us as well. Welcome back, fellas. Hope you're all good. That was a good week for you, Jaden, wasn't it?
It was very good. Yeah, very good away day. Enjoyed myself. It's good to actually get something from the game for once.
Carl, you went to Derby. Again, great travelling support. You enjoy your away day?
Yeah, that was better than the recent away day I was to at Cardiff. But yeah, that's much better. I like what I saw and a bit more positive.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Portsmouth first, shall we, Chris? Our Portsmouth fans thought the better team lost in that midweek game.
100% got to go along with it. You know, if we're talking on performance, we didn't really deserve to get anything out of it, but we put the ball in the net and they didn't. They had loads of chances to do it and we struck it in. We went route one, which got us our goal. Grimshaw, long ball out to Obafemi, put down 2 central defenders who should have done better, and he slotted it in lovely. So we came away with the 3 points. We'll take it every time. We've played better than that and lost.
Yeah, Southampton fans loved that as well. Of course, Obafemi scoring against Pompey. Jaden, it's all about points at this point of the season, isn't it? Do you care too much about the performances? Because some people have said, even though you've got 4 points, those performances have been a little bit suspect in both games.
Yeah, I think for Plymouth, the main thing is points. Obviously, we need to stay up. I think that's the main objective of the season. I know Rooney's come in to obviously get higher up in the table than we did last season, but the main objective is that we get the points to stay up. So, yeah, that's definitely the most important thing. Performances are, of course, important to build on, but points is the most important thing for always.
Okay. Speaking of points, we are looking for 50 subscribers. Can you help us get there? Drop that subscribe button before we go any further. We massively appreciate your love on this channel. Let's have a look at some social media takes from the game. In reference to who was the man of the match, Carl, lots of people were saying, without doubt, it was Pleggy. His positioning and impeccable interceptions were outstanding. Ollie says, Pleggy, he's been immense for these last 2 matches. Sorinola deserves credit too. 3 games in a week for lads that hadn't played until last Saturday. Brilliant from both of them. All right, let's talk about him then, shall we? First of all, do you agree with the praise he's been getting online, Pleggy?
Absolutely. And ever since he's come to Plymouth, he's been one of my favourites. Isn't he? Always sticks his leg out, always gives 110%, and he's not afraid to shy away from any challenge. And I don't know why. Obviously, the form of Gibson and Sus has been the best, but I don't see why we couldn't fit Pleggy in there in the back 3, maybe. But I thought he was immense on Saturday. Without him, I think we would have lost that.
Okay. Chris, give me your thoughts on him. Also mentioned Sorinola as well. Matty Sorinola was getting a shout out from many fans.
Well, to be fair, both of them had really important roles to play in the Portsmouth home game and Derby away, and they both stepped up to the mark. We were hoping some of our players who were fringe benefit players would do that, and those 2 certainly have. You know, they haven't let us down by any imagination. Pleggy especially had a great game Saturday.
Brilliant. Okay. Randall, Jaden, is a player you've spoken about a lot on this channel over the year. His best career days behind him?
No, not by any means. What a goal it was on Saturday. His best years are ahead of him, in my opinion. I think we're only seeing him getting started. I think a few bigger championship clubs are going to come knocking on the door in the summer because He's going to have a very good second half of the season, I think. The way he's building up to it. He had a fantastic week last week. Both games, he was probably man of the match. So yeah, fantastic from him. He's unbelievable.
Why do I read so many fans frustrated with him at times? Then
I suppose he's obviously a local lad. So it's nice for him to be in the team. And a lot of fans obviously support him in that. But I suppose he's not as good as maybe Forshaw is in certain in experience sort of thing. So I don't know really why you could hate him or anything, but yeah, there's obviously frustrations.
Okay. Anybody else that needs to shout out? Chris or Carl, jump in here. You haven't mentioned.
Yeah, Adam Randall is a captain of our future. You know, he didn't make the Portsmouth game. He's been missing for 2 games now, and his first one back was Derby. And I'll tell you what, we missed him when he went on that bench. You could see how much we've missed him. He orchestrated that midfield, and the goal he got, yeah, it was a wide deflection for sure. But I thought you look at it again, and you can see where he's hit it. That was going top left corner. It got the deflection and went top right corner. So that's why they granted it to him and not to was it Jerry Yates who ended up almost scoring 2. But yeah, he's a great player for us, and we've net that point up Derby, lovely and deservedly so. One of our old managers used to say, every point's a prisoner.
Okay. I want to ask you all about our other topic this week is about refereeing decisions and the standard of refereeing generally. We're back onto this topic, I'm afraid, because you've been the victim of some very poor decisions yourselves this year, but there's been so many of the last couple of weeks, not just odd decisions that could have gone either way that have been missed, but some just bizarre decisions, goals ruled out, blatant penalties not given in front of the referee. Carl, I'll start with you. Based on the games you've watched this season for Argyle, is the standard of refereeing getting worse?
Problem is, no matter how much we talk about it, it ain't going to change. They just cover their backs and they'll say, "Oh, it was a mistake." Oh well, but there was 2 over the past week that have really just staggered me decisions-wise. The first one, Argyle related, against Portsmouth. Whittaker's put through on goal. Flag doesn't go up. He finishes it, starts celebrating, then the flag goes up. I just do not understand why this rule's been changed, because if he was taken out or broken leg or injured, he could be prevented by putting the flag up instantly. There was one more I'd like to mention. I know it's not Argyle related, but the Stoke and Millwall one. If that's not a penalty, what is?
Yeah, that's what's prompted us to. But the Stoke have had a couple go against them, but that is it's almost assault in the box. All right, Jayden, is it time for the VAR question to come into the Championship? Was it time for us to have the discussion about it?
Yeah, of course. There's always time for a discussion. But the thing with VAR is it still doesn't result to, a high amount even of good decisions. Like there's still so many bad decisions that's happened with VAR in the Prem. I think the only real way you can find any sort of solution to the refereeing problem in this country is find the best referees you can, that you can obviously get for the Championship or all the other leagues in England, and just get foreign referees, like the best ones, because then there's no bias. Obviously they're still going to make bad decisions because you can't be perfect, but that's the way you're going to find the best refereeing standard, in my opinion.
Okay, Chris, would you like to see VAR at home park and slow down the game and wait for goals to be given as long as they were correct decisions? Would you mind that?
Well, you've read my mind. I'm not a fan of VAR, but and a reason being it interrupts the game and it does slow it down. But if we're going back to Portsmouth on Tuesday, I just can't understand for the life of me why we ended up with 4 players booked and they had 1. I'm not asking for 4 each, but I'm asking for equal scenarios with referee's decision. You know, you got Andre Gray, whose neck was being tucked down around his knee, and his shirt almost off his back, and the bloke's not getting booked. And you think, well, we've come out with some minor scenarios, and our players are getting booked. We've got 4 booked. There's no need for it. And some of the decisions that they're making, as you say, in the championship as a whole, especially that one with Stoke and Millwall. I mean, the bloke was almost actual bodily harm, as you said, you know, and flipping that, he's got away with that. It was a blatant penalty.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that. Drop us what you think in your comments below, like you always do. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we've had a bit of fun this week, of course, as well as a shorter one because it's international break. So we're asking, well, we've asked artificial intelligence for this question as well. We wanted to see who comes out on top, whether the Argyle intelligence can win over AI. We asked for the top 3 American influences on Plymouth Argyle, North American or South American. Any of you at all want to give a shout to this? Drop us a comment below, of course, if you can think of any.
I don't think we've actually had any players.
No, I can't think of one.
The only thing that we have got is we imported the Pilgrim Fathers to America, didn't we, to help them find it? So,
that's about it.
Without us, they'd struggle, wouldn't they? So, yeah.
Right. Well, we need to fact check this because I've never heard of him. Maybe you guys will have. But ChatGPT comes forward with Graham Smith was an American goalkeeper for Plymouth Argyle. Wasn't highly influential, but he played for them. Any idea? No. Okay. We're going to definitely fact check that. Just proves, doesn't it? Don't write your essays on AI, folks, because it's going to be complete garbage. Right. Can you name any South American or North American influences on Plymouth Argyle? Can you do better than us? Right, folks. Thank you very much for that. It's a Friday night game for you next. Next week, when we meet again, we'll be previewing the Watford game. Just how do you beat high-flying Watford? That's our question for us next week. Join us then when we'll also be discussing and getting these guys to vote, finally, to close down the summer transfer window and how well they think they can grade it now that they've seen nearly every single player. Join us then. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in 7 days' time. Enjoy the international